also become a mod from the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge on the Commander General Line, 125th Street, man. And we're here to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that they are the chosen people of the Most High God. And, and today, this is the Brotherhood class, you know what I'm saying? Or, and the Brotherhood class is the same thing as the Sisterhood class. You know what I'm saying? And then, in the world today, we see a lot of our sisters, you know what I'm saying, is out there just way out of pocket, man.
Right.
Sisters just way out of pocket, man, you know what I'm saying, trying to control a man, trying to de-emasculate a man, you know what I'm saying, out there with the LGBT community just hating brothers, man. Hating their own protection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sisters out there just hating their own protection, man. You know what I'm saying? Hating their warriors. You know what I'm saying? Our princesses are way off. And one of the reasons that they way off is just because, our oppressors have implanted in their head, that they're in control, that they're in charge. You know what I'm saying? That they should be in charge. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High has already put a chain of command in place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's going to protect our sisters and keep our sisters protected if they choose to obey the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we're going to give you 1 Corinthians 11:3.
Fine. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man is Christ. So, you know what I'm saying, even us men, you know what I'm saying, we have a chain of command. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. You know what I'm saying? Woman, you are not supposed to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? It's a chain of command. It goes Christ, it goes man, and it goes woman. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is Yahweh.
And the head of Christ is Yahweh, the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? So even Christ takes orders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even Christ takes orders, man. If even Christ can take orders, you can take orders. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If even Christ can take orders, I can take orders. When your husband, you know what I'm saying, tells you to do something, you need to do it because 90% of the time it's for your protection. It's for your and his protection. You know what I'm saying? You know, our sisters, we need to stop being so selfish and childish. You know what I'm saying? We need to love each other, you know what I'm saying, enough to stop to put your man in charge. You need to love yourself enough to put your man in charge. You know what I'm saying? Because loving yourself is putting your man in charge because your man is going to protect you. He's going to tell you what to do. He's going to tell you what to do not to get in trouble. He's going to say, hey, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women's husbands know them. So they try to keep them out of situations that they're going to get into ahead of time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna tell you to turn down because they know that you emotional and hot-headed and that you're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you not to be over there because that's a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? This is why the Most High put this rank and order in you know what I'm saying, display. I mean, in play. And, it's all about obedience, man.
Right.
We have to be obedient to the Most High, and you have to be obedient to us. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of us as we are the Lord of your household. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna even sugarcoat it or candy coat it or nothing, man. If you have a man, he is the Lord of your household.
Right.
You just heard the chain of command right here. Is that it for that? Yeah, give me
if I may.
go ahead.
You know, our sisters in Israel have been taught that submission is a bad thing. You know, just the word term submit, they take it as like they're being oppressed or something like that. You know, but if we look at the definition of submit, if I may, it says to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person.
Right.
And when you're talking about submitting to a man, you're talking about submitting to a righteous man, a man who's submitting unto Christ.
Right.
So, you know, and what we understand as priests and prophets is that, yeah, you have to give that submission up. So the hope is that you're wise enough to submit to a priest and prophet of the Most High.
Damn right. And that's heavy, though, because, you know, the sisters, they got in their head that they're submitting in like a UFC match.
Right.
You submitted, you lost the fight. That is not the case. You and your husband is one. You feel me? This is the man that you chose. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you're in your right mind to choose a man to lead you. You feel me? A man that knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully you got a man in the UPK, you know what I'm saying, that's going to lead his woman in the right way, man. Go to war with his woman if he has to. You know what I'm saying? To get her right. Die for his woman if he has to. You know what I'm saying? That's hopefully you've made that righteous choice. But if you didn't, still, this is the man that you chose over you, and you know, and if you obey the Most High God, you know what I'm saying, like most women say they do, you know, this and that, you gonna obey the chain of command. It's like the man is in charge. You know what I'm saying? You just read it right here. But give me 1 Timothy 2:11. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with being obedient to your man. You know, you're not the only women. You ain't the only ones being obedient. You know what I'm saying? Us men, we obedient. The men of UPK, we obedient to Christ. We obedient to the Most High, man. Obedience is what's gonna get you in the kingdom. So don't look at obedience like it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you seen it as a bad thing, you're just, you know what I'm saying, just want to be over the man. And this is, you know, we read earlier, that's not the way things go. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Right. So when you come to class, you know what I'm saying, you're not over here in the class, you know what I'm saying, speaking all out, being all out of order. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, you need to be a sweet, humble sister. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Quiet. You know what I'm saying? And just listening and learning. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't mean that you don't have knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The one that's quiet and listening and paying attention, that's the one with the knowledge, man. That's the one with the knowledge. The one not the sister that just over here speaking out and blurting out and talking over people. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that's not going to learn nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sisters, you try and tell them something, they just talking over you, just not making any sense.
Right.
Not making any sense. You know what I'm saying? Read that from the top again.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence.
Let the woman learn in silence, man. Shut your mouth and listen. Shut your mouth and listen to what's going on, man. Don't sit here and try and over talk the man and out talk the man with nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It makes no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of that is just you make it a competition when it doesn't have to be a competition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who can out talk this person and that person? You know what I'm saying? What is that? That's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Learn to learn in silence. You know what I'm saying? Learn to absorb, you know what I'm saying, what the class is being taught about. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're not gonna go to any white man's class and do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in here and don't come in here and do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't you know what I'm saying? Come to the priests and prophets and try and over talk them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna learn anything. You know what I'm saying? We speaking straight from the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? We ain't speaking from our own opinion. Everything we're telling you is right here in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
He suffers not a woman to teach. You know what I'm saying? You are not to pull these scriptures and teach. You know what I'm saying? He suffers not a woman to teach, man. When we out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying, standing on wood teaching, you know what I'm saying, stuff can get funky out there. We giving to them straight from the scriptures. Just like some of these scriptures you might have heard, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to hear. We out here giving scriptures that people don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And people might come up against you. You know what I'm saying? You might have to get down out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But sisters, we want to keep y'all protected because why? Read that scripture again.
Okay. The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
He suffers not a woman to teach. He suffers not a woman to go out there on that street corner and bring out these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? He don't suffer you that. You know what I'm saying? These laws are here for your protection. They're here for your protection. You know what I'm saying? They're here for you to learn from, so you can go out there in the world and know what to do and what not to do, what to eat and what not to eat,
Right.
what to say and what not to say, what to teach and what not to teach. You know what I'm saying? They're here for you to be obedient because, you know what I'm saying, obedience is your only way that the Most High is going to allow you to go up in them chariots. You know what I'm saying? That's repentance and obedience. You know? Turn away from the old way that used to be in the world and being obedient to the Most High God. And right now, what you're learning right now is obedience. You know what I'm saying? To be obedient. You know what I'm saying? But let me get Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. You know, we ain't, you know, in the UPK, you know, they might say, y'all hate women and, you know what I'm saying, y'all want to put women down and all that stuff. Nah, that ain't the case, man. We're giving our sisters our medicine, man. You know what I'm saying? If you look out there, you see our sisters destroyed, man. Our sisters think that they took on the spirit of a man
Right.
instead of the spirit of a mother. You know what I'm saying? I seen these sisters jump on another sister and while she had her baby with her, you know what I'm saying? Just sitting there beating on her while her baby, you know what I'm saying, was over there in the middle of the fight, baby screaming. Like, that's not motherly. That was disgusting, man. That made me want to jump through the screen and get right in it. You know what I'm saying? When did we stop worrying about, our sisters stop worrying about the welfare of a baby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How are our sisters that far gone to where, you know what I'm saying, you couldn't, if the sister did something that bad to you, you couldn't give her a pass because she's holding a baby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't see nothing wrong with that? Are you just that out of control with your emotions that you can't give a sister a pass because she's holding a baby? You know what I'm saying? Our sisters need to shut the hell up and learn. And that's just what it is, man. You out there protesting holding babies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all need to get back to being mothers for real. You know what I'm saying? Because a real mother is going to keep her baby out of danger, you know what I'm saying, and out of a situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, a real mother is wise when it comes to her child. She's not going to put them in any kind of danger. But look at the things our sisters are doing now. Leaving their fathers, getting with another man that's going to molest their babies. Going out there and protest with their babies, where you know there's a chance of them getting brutalized by cops, pepper sprayed, shot with tear gas out of there. You know what I'm saying? Or even worse, rubber bullets are even worse. Our sisters are not thinking. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking. You know what I mean? They're not protecting themselves, even though they got kids at home that depend on them because they left their baby's father. You know what I'm saying? They rather have child support instead of man support.
Right.
You know, what is that telling our sisters? I mean, what is that doing for your kids? You know what I'm saying? How is that raising your kids? How is that being a mother? You know, you got to think when you get older, them kids gonna have to take care of you. So, what you're not even thinking for their future. You're not even thinking for your future. You're just like a little kid that just had a little kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You need to get into the truth and you need to follow these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And obey your husband. Because that is your protection. Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find it more bitter than death, the woman, whose heart is snares and nets.
Whose heart is snares and nets. You know what I'm saying? Don't think because you have a baby with a man that you can keep a man. You sisters need to be wise when you sleep with a man, because when you sleep with a man, that is marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you unhappy because you're spoiled and you a crybaby because you don't get what you want to put that man in child support. That is a snare. That is a net.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read that from the top.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death a woman whose heart is snares and nets.
The Most High said it's better to be dead than to be snared with a bitch, with a complaining ass bitch that can't get her way and wanna just you know what I'm saying? You know, you just so miserable that you just, oh, I can't have my way. I'm finna put him on child support. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna make his life miserable because I'm miserable. You know, the whole misery loves company thing. That's just disgusting, man. And that's just making our people's condition worser. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not thinking You thinking about your own selfish self. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about the nation. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about the man that can't. You know what I'm saying? What's it gonna do to your baby's father? You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about the domino effect that this has on black men. You're not thinking about that because you're being selfish. You know what I'm saying? You're a bitter woman. You bitter and you miserable, and you just trying to make your man's life miserable. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High don't like that. You know what I'm saying? This document. Read that one more time for me.
Okay. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets.
Whose heart is snares and nets. You know what I'm saying? Snares and nets, man. Child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Sending your man to jail. Knowing damn well that you attacked him. You ran up on him trying to fight him, and he defended himself. And you know what I'm saying? You sent him to jail.
Right.
Because you couldn't beat him up because he's a man. You know what I mean? This happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now this man has limited resources because you did this to him. You know what I'm saying? Women are not. You're not thinking clearly. You're using your emotion to make your decisions. You're being childish. You need to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Is that it for that?
Sir.
What?
And her hands as bands.
Her hand is bands. You know what I'm saying? You know you don't want that man to leave. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make sure you have to deal with him forever. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of women didn't trap men with babies. Y'all didn't have babies just to keep the man, thinking that's going to stop him from being with another woman. Y'all need to stop that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A man can have more than one wife. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to get that to your head. We've always had more than one wife. You know what I'm saying, in our culture.
Right.
You know? It wasn't only till you guys came to America and learned jealousy and help me out the phone. Jealousy and what's up? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all learned to be jealous and selfish.
Possessive.
Yeah, and possessive and stuff, man. Y'all learned that from our oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, it wasn't nothing but Edomites that had, you know what I'm saying, one wife. That's their culture, not ours. You know? There's plenty of accounts of the Bible where a man had more than one wife. You know what I'm saying? Everything's been fine. You know? So, you know, something as stupid as a man having more than one wife, you know, a man shouldn't leave you, sis.
Right.
A man should not leave you. Once y'all had sex and you know what I'm saying, y'all married according to the Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He should not leave you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are one. You know what I mean? But he can, you know what I'm saying, marry another woman if she's not married to another man. You know, that's how it goes. He can marry another woman if she's not married to another. It's only adultery if a man sleeps with a woman that's married. It's only adultery. That's what adultery is. You know, a man sleeping with a woman that's already married. You know, once you marry that man, you can't sleep with another man. But he can sleep with a woman and marry a woman that is not married. That is lawful in the Bible. You You know what I'm saying? And you know, us as a nation, we need to learn how to do things the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why how we can get out of this situation. You know what I mean? But what we got?
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Whoso pleases God shall escape from her.
Yeah. So if he, you know, if you want to be a snare and a trap, you know what I'm saying, and your man is obeying God, he will take your man away from you. You know what I'm saying? He will escape from that madness. You know what I'm saying? If you serving the Lord and you know what I'm saying, you in the UPK and you following all these laws and you're gonna escape from that monster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord is gonna deliver you from that monster. You know what I mean? You just keep serving the Lord. If your woman is a monster, she disobedient and just, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is gonna deliver you from her. Go ahead.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
Yeah, but if you out there doing the wrong things, you know what I'm saying, out there sinning, you finna be locked in with this monster blood, and she gonna make you miserable. You know what I'm saying? She gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Your blood pressure gonna go up so high to your heart just
Right.
it's gonna be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So you know if you with a monster man, just serve the Lord, man. Just serve the Lord.
Right.
He you know what I'm saying? The Lord sees you, man. You know what I'm saying? He can be like, that person's gonna is a good servant of mine, and I'm thinking, you know what? The Lord might just have mercy on you and deliver you from that monster. You know what I mean? But give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. You know what I'm saying? Because this is going back into what I was saying earlier, man. Obedience. You know what I'm saying? We all have to be obedient. You know what I'm saying? The chain of command. Christ is obedient to the Most High. Man is obedient to Christ. And the woman has to be obedient to the man. You know what I'm saying? And the child has to be obedient to the woman. You know what I'm saying? That's how everything runs smoothly. And that's the only thing that's going to get us, excuse me, that's the only thing that's going to get us the Most High is going to save us, man. He's not going to sit here and save some disobedient children. Obedience is what's going to get you out. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Let your women keep silent in the churches, man. Women is not, you know, the Most High suffers a woman not to teach. You know what I'm saying? If you have, you know what I'm saying, questions, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you can ask questions. You know what I'm saying? But this just means a woman can't teach the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach the scriptures. You know, a woman is supposed to, we are supposed to live the scriptures, but a woman is not supposed to teach scriptures. It doesn't mean a woman can't teach school classes. It doesn't mean a woman can't be a supervisor at a job or nothing like that. This just means that a woman can't teach the scriptures, man. These scriptures are for men to teach. You know what I'm saying? These scriptures are for warriors to teach, not princesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what that means. Go ahead.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
For it is not permitted for them to speak. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't speak on these scriptures. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't be out there on these street corners like these warriors do at the Isupk. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach class. You can come to class, ask questions, you know what I'm saying, in order, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our sisters all of our sisters are smart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of y'all smarter than the men, you know what I'm saying, that are here. You know what I mean? But it's just not permitted for you to teach. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
You're commanded to be under obedience. You know what I'm saying? Just obey. You know what I mean? We gotta obey too. Y'all not the only ones. The sisters are not the only ones that have to obey. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of sisters over there trying to turn it into this. Oh, see y'all against women and ooh, and turn it into a big old thing. No, y'all women need to be obedient. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Obedience is your protection, just like it's our protection. We have to be obedient to Christ, just like Christ is obedient to the Most High. You know what I mean? Stop thinking with your emotion and trying to turn it into a male chauvinist woman against man thing. You know what I mean? You already know that the man is stronger than the woman. You know what I mean? It just is what it is, how the Most High designed it. Go ahead.
As also saith the law.
So it's the law, man. So your obedience is the law. You know, this is how sisters got to get into the kingdom, man. And, you know, this is a harder thing for sisters, you know what I mean, than men. Why is it harder for sisters to be obedient than it is for men to be obedient to Christ? Why is that? That's something y'all need to ask yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are more emotional than men. You know what I'm saying? Emotions get in your way and get in your judgment. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you get into something, to a problem with somebody, you couldn't let it go. Like the sisters I seen in that video, that just couldn't let that sister go, even though she was hot holding her baby, and just beat that sister like that and her baby. It was just, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thinking in their right head will do that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody thinking in their right head will do that. But is that it for that? That's First Corinthians. Let me get Ephesians 5:22. Right. That's what. Yeah, man. So this is important, man, because y'all sisters is important to us. Y'all are the most important thing to us. You know what I'm saying? As the Most High God. You know what I mean? Because we need y'all to, you know what I'm saying, do the right thing, so our men can get in order.
Right.
You know what I mean? If more sisters was in line, you know what I'm saying, the world the way it is, you know what I'm saying, you would have to be a righteous brother to get with them, especially in the UPK, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The generals is not letting know, you know what I'm saying, righteous sisters, you know what I'm saying, be with no brother that's gonna abuse them, man, or you know what I mean? Like, you know, it just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no righteous the general going if you in the school, ain't no if a brother get a sister in the world, that's something else. But you know what I'm saying, they not finna let no unrighteous, you know what I'm saying, marriage go on like that. You know what I mean?
Like if I may, sir.
What?
When you have a sister that's in ISUPK, you know, you would think that it would be a lot easier for her to be in submission by seeing her husband submit to the officers and the men above them. But there's nothing more beautiful that I can see, you know, as far as the rank and structure in ISUPK. Right. When a woman comes into this truth, even if she comes in with her husband, to see how her husband submits to the men above him, which is a great example for her to submit to her husband.
Right, right. And that's just another thing too. Man, that good thing that he brought up, man. We got to be you know what I'm saying? The ranking order is important.
Right.
The ranking order is important, man. You have to be an example. You know what I mean? Especially in this UPK, man. Especially in this UPK, man. I've learned so. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't thank Commander General Johanna enough, man.
That's right.
For showing me what ranking order is, man. You know what I'm saying? Even the brothers that checked me when I fell short. You know what I'm saying? It was just a whole learning process, man, which was a beautiful thing, man. I had to, and it allows you to look at yourself and better yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By following ranking order and learning true brotherhood, man. Learning true brotherhood, man, is UPK true brotherhood is a real thing, man. It's a real thing, man. You learn, you forgive your brother 70 times 7, man. You know what I'm saying? You keep forgiving your brother, and you learn how to work things out with your brother through the scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing too. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to that.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Yeah, so submit yourself to your own husband, man. You take care of your husband, man. If your husband needs something, you better handle that. You take care of that man and whatever he needs. And he better be taking care of you too when you need something. You know what I'm talking about. You ain't got to get all into it like that, but you know. You know what I'm saying? Your man needs something, you take care of him. You know what I'm saying? You give him whatever medicine he needs. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. Your man is the Lord of your house. You know what I'm saying? You heard it right there. You heard the chain of command first, right? Read that last part again.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You submit unto your man as unto the Lord, man. Go ahead. Go read the next verse.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
For the husband is the head of the wife. You know what I mean? He's the head of your household, man. You submit yourself unto him. You do what that man tells you to do, man. If you believe that you chose a good man, you listen to him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna tell you whatever's good for your household. You know. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Even as Christ is the head of the church. That's how you know right there. Christ is the head. Christ is the head of the church. He did and was the example for whatever was best for his people. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully you chose a man that, you know what I'm saying, well, if he's in the UPK, that you've already made the right choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That he's going to do whatever is best for the household. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of, he in the UPK, he got a lot of resources, man. He got brothers over him, you know what I'm saying? He can get counsel, you know what I'm saying? Whatever is needed. Go ahead.
And he is the savior of the body.
Right. And what's the body? You know what I'm saying? The body is the church. You know what I'm saying? Christ is the savior of the church. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Right. So we, you know what I'm saying, are looking at Christ's example and living our lives according to Christ's example. You know what I'm saying? And being obedient to him. So, Wives, you need to be looking to your husband for advice. Be looking to your husband for an example. You know what I'm saying? Going to your husband for counsel. You know, not going to Salaki, not going to some other sister on the street, some other sister, wicked sister on the street that then lost her man because she's so wicked. Not going to these wicked TV shows. You know what I'm saying? That tell you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they got an example. Jada Pinkett had an example. Hey, I got into an entanglement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't look at them for man. Go to your man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can't get stuff right, seek counsel. You know what I'm saying? Go to your camp leader or seek counsel. You know what I'm saying? What verse was that?
That was verse 24.
Go ahead.
Verse 25 from the book of Ephesians, chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Husbands, love your wives.
And vice versa, man. Husbands got to love their wives, man. And we do. We love our wives, man. And you know what love is? Love is not always telling them what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Love could be, hey, I don't want you going out with her. You know what I'm saying? You know she a hoe. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you going out with her. She a hoe. She's not responsible. She's stupid. She high-headed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you, knowing your wife. You know what I mean? Knowing how your wife get out when she out there. Like, you don't want her to turn up too hard. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't around to monitor it. You know what I mean? Husbands got to love their wife too. You know what I'm saying? These rules are for the man and the woman. You know what I'm saying? It's for us to know each other and get along and for the woman to obey the man. You know? Where
Even as Christ also loved the church.
Even as Christ also loved the church. You know what I'm saying? So if you listen to your man, think about it. Christ died for the church. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love your husband as for that. You know what I'm saying? Your husband has to put down his life if he has to for you. You love your husband. You know, you love your husband because it might just come down to it. He might got to die for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him die for no miserable bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give him something that he would, you know what I'm saying, at the drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? Because, he after UPK, I'm pretty sure you already will. But give him something at the drop of a hat. He will die for you. Like Christ did for us. You know what I mean? But with that, man, give me, is that it for that?
Just on what you're speaking, sure it says. And Slovakia.
I'll try to catch up to you. Read on.
Slovakia.
But we're going to drop that and go to Proverbs. No sweat. We're going to drop that and go to Proverbs 31 and 10. You know what I'm saying? Because we going to let you know, man, we love our sisters in here, man. Our sisters are important. You know what I'm saying? This is just something you got to hear because in the scriptures, it's in the scriptures.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find a virtuous woman, man? You know what I'm saying? Every brother wants that perfect woman, that virtuous woman, man. You know what I'm saying? But these scriptures, man, you obeying these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? You are that virtuous woman, man. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to be humble, how to obey, you know what I'm saying? How to be obedient, you know what I'm saying? How to keep silent when you need to. You are every last bit of that virtuous woman. If you have all these qualities that are in these scriptures, you are 1 in 10,000. Go ahead.
For her price is far above rubies.
And you are more precious than rubies. You know what I'm saying? Sisters, you know what I'm saying? We love you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to give you your medicine and let you know what you need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? According to these scriptures, man. This, you know what I'm saying? This is how we feel, and this is what's coming out of the scriptures, man. It's just not just us, you know what I'm saying, trying to dominate you or trying to, you know what I'm saying, or hating you or nothing like that. Or no nonsense. We just telling you what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? When you became, we just telling you what it is, man. And the scriptures is telling you what it is. We just go by the scriptures. That's how, you know what I'm saying, we have to be obedient and y'all have to be obedient. You know what I'm saying? And with that, you know what I'm saying, that's my last script. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hope y'all take heed and, you know what I'm saying, get right. You know, with that, this is Officer Tazabah with Officer Kakam Ahmad of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General Yohana. Shalom.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, it's Silky, man. I just want to tell y'all real good, man. I'm learning at the class today, man. Just get my attention, man.
Oh yeah, Most High in Christ, man. I'm gonna get you down with the attendance, man. I didn't even know you was on. All right, Shalom. Yahba Shem Shabbat.
Shalom, how I sure out, but Shalom, how
Hey, we gonna just call me. Hey, call me Silk, man. We gonna work on that.